Okay, here's our goodies. Ethernet VGA XLR. Next we're looking at the podium with the laptop, a microphone, and notice the Polycom remote. Polycom's first thing that we're going to turn on. So inside the closet, use an HJ key. Then we're turning it on. Polycom unit from the center button. It should blink blue. But don't be alarmed. 20 minutes till the meeting should start. We've still got tables here in 113. Mariano steady on the wall. Chairs everywhere. Catering will be coming in back there. But let's take a look at the rest of the media setup. So obviously we're waiting for the Polycom to come on. There, it just did. You see the camera turn around. Well, we can see where the Polycom is in its boot up by turning on the projector. And we can set it to video conference to start off with. But since the last thing that was used was the keyboard with the computer in the closet, that means that the Polycom is automatically going to send the computer from the closet as content. Which means that we're going to have to change the source to VGA, obviously after we plug in our VGA, and then put it to video conference for the automatic content to be sent from the VGA instead of the computer in the closet. That's something that might screw you up. Okay, so there's the content of the computer in the closet being sent through the projector. Okay, so here's our panel with sources. Right now the source is on PC. We're going to change it to VGA. Now let's hook up the VGA. On rare occasions that they use audio, you want to use the short end of the VGA to plug into the panel so that the long end of the VGA can go to the computer and reach around to the output settings. So now I plug in the VGA, drop the AC cable. This part's pretty standard. And then basic setup is to put the microphone on this electrical box here, podium in the middle and table. Plug the computer in, string the XLR. No kinks. Oh, kinks make me angry. There we go. There we go. Smooth lines. That's my goal. Now for the audio, you want to change the configuration to 6164. That gets you into the configuration menu. Hit combine. And that'll set up the audio speakers to be on both sides of the room. And then you can adjust the volume for the microphone and program. The VC conference volumes don't need to be adjusted here because there's no incoming audio from the site that we're calling. So now I plug in the VGA, drop the AC cable. This part's pretty standard. Now I have my source on VGA north. That's how you can tell that the configuration is on both sides of the room. Looks like that. I'm going to hit preset. And when I hit 2, it adjusts the camera to throw it down where the speaker's going to stand. And that's the basic configuration for the camera for the room. But the other side will see the content plus the speaker. And there's Jess in the back of the room. She can help you too. So if you get this startup screen, you just want to hit return. Your Windows screen should start up. Then log in. So it's 10 minutes to 4, and the order should be configure the laptop to the projector. So if there's a blank screen, you can go to the screen resolution, make sure that it says duplicate these displays, or you can push the Windows key plus P and hit duplicate. And then it should transmit from the laptop to the cable to the projector. What's interesting is the screen resolution from this laptop, because it has a higher resolution. If you can see, the screen's bigger. So up on the projection here, it's cut off a little. Now what we can do is right click on the desktop, go into screen resolution, and then increase the amount of display ratio. So 1280 by 720 is actually the resolution of the projection. And now it matches, but it's also stretched. Height. And then we'll configure the Panopto for the speaker's presentation. At this point, the speaker may show up. Once this is logged in, you want to have this as probably the first thing going. The speaker can go ahead and load their talk onto the desktop. And then Jess can open up the speaker's presentation in PowerPoint through Panopto. Once all that is opened up, which here's Panopto here, she can do this. And at any point, we could call into Children's, except their bridge doesn't allow the call in until 4:10. So we still have another 15 minutes. But now the computer's on, ready and waiting for the presenter to download their talk. Okay, so it's 10 after and I can call in.
Okay.
That's not going to affect you. Now, when I'm going to change the source from VGA to video conference on the home screen, it gives me the Polycom home screen briefly, but then sends the content of the VGA because the previous setting for the source was VGA. So all I have to do is hit the content button and pull back the content from this laptop, from the VGA of the laptop. And now I have the home screen of the Polycom. And I can call into Children's by simply pushing the green phone button. And that's going to give me a listing of the last phone numbers that were called. So it should say Kodian MCU, and that's the centralized server at Children's Hospital. And we've already worked out the numbers, but the longhand is 146.79.255.101 hashtag 601045, which is the alias to the server. So now I'll call that in. going to ring, and we should see a dark room on the other side. That's children's. And now when I hit content, that's going to send the content of the laptop over to them. And then we change the display so that we remove the icons at the bottom. You have to hit the display button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you notice in the top right-hand corner is children's again. And then on the 5th one, it's going to give us just our screen and without the icons at the bottom. When I set the remote down. And then from here I give the remote to Jess in the back of the room.
Sir,
And then you have to set that down somewhere.
you should put it under the chair.
Yeah. Because anytime the remote is moved, the icons pop up and it's ready to go. Then we can send the content of the Polycom to the Polycom on to children's. So now we're done with the setup. The rest of it is the presenter getting their talk ready, and then Jess opening Panopto for the PowerPoint to come up on the screen. But everything is configured for children's and for here. We have a bonus round.
Bonus.
The Poll Anywhere. So, with the Poll Anywhere, we've worked this out.
Yeah.
This is entirely set up within the laptop to the internet connection. The only thing that it changes is with the Panopto, because we'll have to switch out, we'll have to set the Panopto to record the entire desktop and not just the PowerPoint. If you want the Poll Anywhere to be part of the presentation that goes to Panopto,
Okay.
the people on the other end, they'll see anything that's on the screen. So they'll see the Panopto, they'll see the Poll Anywhere.
Okay.
But for your audience that's watching on the Panopto, you have to tell it to capture the whole screen and not just the PowerPoint.
Okay.
That's the difference with setting that
Okay.
up.
I know that there's at least one fellow who plans on just attending by watching these recorded, so it'll be good if he can actually, you know, see all the things
Yeah.
and know what people are talking about, so.
No, I guess there's quite an audience that watches this. Quite a number of people.
From time to time.
On any given week, yeah, there
Yeah.
could be 20, 30.
Part of me wonders why we don't stream it live. It would be complicated, but we'll talk about it.
Well, you
when
get the
back.
choice of streaming. Well, you can stream and record.
You can screen and record at the same time, yeah.
But can you stream and record with Panopto?
I don't know.
See, Panopto, you can only record.
Oh, I know, I think you can watch it live.
What some people were doing is using Adobe Connect Pro and Panopto.
Oh, okay.
Because with Panopto, we have control over the server. The UW, University of Washington, and the users have control over the server. But with Adobe Connect Pro, they don't have control over the server.
Okay.
So that they're having to pay for rental too. You have to pay rental for the Adobe Connect server. But with the Panopto, you don't have to pay. They have, so they're using both. And we have
Okay.
used both and sent it through the Polycom too. But it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, somebody asked, wanted to participate while they were excited about one of the fellows' talks just a couple of weeks ago, and they're like, oh, can I call in and like participate during the case presentation? And I was like, no, maybe, go to children's. So yeah.
No, we could set that up through Children's to have a streaming broadcast from them.
Mm.
That's something we could do.
I don't know if it's like necessary.
It hasn't been necessary.
Yeah. I mean, you can basically figure out how to make anything happen if you have the resources. Okay, cool.
So now, our presenter is downloading software to run Poll Anywhere. And it's not allowing him.
Not allowing it. What? I'll try. Let's see if I can do this.
So at this point, we could call IT services and have them remote in.
Oh, to admin the privileges?
Apply admin privileges and then download the software.
Let's see. Shall we? Or is it too? Because I know it worked last time. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure either, except you might want to download it into a local folder.
Oh, rather than the C drive.
Right.
I see what
Rather
you're
than the
saying.
C drive, download it into what's my folder since I'm logged in, which would be, scroll down underneath computer. That one, yeah. So now that's the user's space that's logged in. In this case, it's me. Oh. I think there's a bad connection on this laptop. So it's either the connection on the laptop or the cable, the VGA cable. We're going to troubleshoot. Get your fresh laptop here. I actually had troubles with this laptop earlier today. But it could be the cable too. I just got a laptop and nothing else off the shelf. And I'll switch out all the hardware to go with this laptop. Kept the mouse RF. Kept the AC power cable. Now I'll plug this in, the VGA in, and we should get, yeah. So it's not the VGA cable, it's the VGA connection on this other laptop. And I'll have to log in again. Let's plug this Ethernet cable in. Okay. Behind the scenes bonus section here. If we go to a browser window and type in the IP address for that Polycom, that's going to allow us to get to the inside of the codec of the Polycom. And a call can be placed at this point too. So, I don't know how visible it is, but there's a whole series of transmission numbers here, which shows that we're already in the call, because we made it up there. But from this point, the call can be made, and the previous number that we tried is automatically in the box. So that's the IP address and alias at Children's, which can also be found in the AV Media Services folder under Children's. And there's an infectious disease conference page that also has it. And then as an alternative, which you'd have to work out with Children's, but we can use the Blue Jeans application. And that would involve opening the Blue Jeans, no, that would involve having Melania at Children's send an invite for Blue Jeans meeting to your email, and then opening your email from a browser window at the laptop, and then clicking on that link that Melania would send, and then we would be able to send the content of the laptop to Melania, who would then transfer it to the room where they're watching it at Children's Hospital. So that is that. But you can look at the transmission numbers here, which tells you that it's sending at 512K, 512,000 bits per second. And it's using H.264 compression, that's good. The audio rate is 48K. And then once you know that you're connected like that, you can either close that browser, or if you need to go back out, one of the things that can happen is people at Children's can try to send us content. It's a weird thing where for some reason it drops the call. You can take the remote from Jess in the back of the room and call while you're in the room, or you can quietly just go to the computer, dial up the codec of that machine and place the call within the codec there, then go into the meeting and take the remote from Jess and send content if it doesn't send it already.
She couldn't stand the boredom when the video broke down. Don't know why I feel so bad. Is it the weather or am I going mad? Don't know why I feel this way. I don't know whether I'm coming or I'm going. Can't cover up 'cause it's obviously showing. It's a state of confusion. We're in a state of confusion. Do I get attention? Tell me who I